Great. We're a day late, but we're here. Very quiet.
All right, I think we're live. We're live.
Great.
All right, hang on.
5, 4, 3, 2, beep.
5, 4, 3, 2, live from San Francisco, California, Reno, Nevada, and somewhere trapped in Houston, Texas, you mothers, it's the Video Game Outsiders podcast. And now here's one of your hosts, Michelle.
Welcome to episode 519 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison, gamertag Coastal Michelle.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson, Xbox Live, PSN, Wii U, Switch, Handle, Thingy, Black Dog 7, also John from John's Arcade. John from John Sucks at Video Games, Tomato Interactive, The Kill Screens, and The Hangar Pub and Grill. So here we are.
That's right. Oh my God. You've added another John to your long list of Johns. I think we need to take a couple of Johns away every week until we're down to just one John. I think it's way too many. So the chatters here are telling us we are tardy. Yes, we are one day late, but we are still live right now on youtube.com/VGOcast.
We are doing this, and if you guys want to listen live, you know, it's usually 9 p.m.s. 9 p.m.s.
Yeah, all of the 9 p.m.s East Coast on Tuesdays. We are live on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
And you can come watch our dueling browsers. You can come chat with other community members. Shout out to you guys. And during the week, find us on riotcast.com and our website, videogameoutsiders.com.
That's right. Anytime during the week, too, you can get our app on the iOS and Google Play Store. We've got a lot of stuff in that app, Michelle.
We do. You know, this week I actually did my bonus show with my sister because I was spending a lot of time at her house this week. And yeah, so we talked about kind of her newfound love for multiplayer gaming. I got her to try PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and I had her try Overwatch because she loves sniping. So she's never played multiplayer games. She's always been a gamer since we were kids, but never multiplayer. She just doesn't like multiplayer gaming. She doesn't like playing online against other people. And so I forced her to try some of these games. And I talked about that on my Love It, Hate It show. And I know you did some stuff as well. You do a show every week. So we do 3 extra shows a week. We also do Blank Outsiders. Tonight we're going to talk about the Castlevania Netflix series and talk about Castlevania lore. I'm excited for this. I watched most of it. And I finished Castlevania is a game I played growing up. So I'm excited.
I'm actually very excited to do that.
Yes.
I kind of got into that Netflix thing. I really did.
I did too. And I want to talk about this. Like, I'm really excited. Maybe if we have time, we can tease a little bit of it on VGO. But if you want to hear that, you have to download our app. And you can do it, like I said, on iOS or Android. So what do you want to get in tonight, John? It's a Michelle and John show, basically, was what I combined John and show. I have not been sleeping very well. I've been dog sitting. I've been traveling a little bit. But yeah, it's a you and me show tonight, John.
That's right.
No host. We're
Joe
going to get
and
into
Michelle.
some interesting. I wish your name was Joe. It seems cooler.
It does?
It does.
What would Joe? What would be different if I was Joe?
Joe would be a lot cooler than you. Joe wouldn't. I don't know. Joe would just be a lot more confident. He wouldn't need
Joe.
Exactly. Joe would not need to alpha dog other guys who came on the show like you do. You get very threatened.
I
believe.
Not. I'm Joe. I am Joe.
Another so I think Joe is a lot cooler than you. You can call me Ashley if that makes you feel better.
Ashley.
So you did mention voicemails. I know we have a couple tonight.
Why
don't we get into one, Joe?
Yeah, 520-FEEL-VGO. 520-FEEL-VGO. Could be a question, comment, whatever. Here we go.
Yep.
Hey, VGO. Playing Little Nightmares, not talked about enough. Great game. And still playing Rainbow Six, because it's a unique FPS. Love it until PUBG comes out for the consoles. You guys are great. Thanks. Bye.
There you have it. Pretty Little Nightmares. I like Pretty Little Liars.
I think it's not Pretty Little. It's just Little Nightmares. And I've seen this game before. I think it's $20 on Steam. I think it's also out on consoles as well. Everything but the Switch, maybe, John?
Right.
My favorite statement. But yeah, I've heard good things about this game. He's not the only one who has told us to try this game. We've gotten a couple of tweets about it. And I know you didn't because you not only do you not like scary games, you also don't like artsy games and anything that looks like it all.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, I mean, it has. Yes, you don't like anything that it all attempts to be in any way artsy, like Inside or anything like that. And this is almost looks a little bit like Inside. It's like just constantly walking through like scary scenes. But you know what?
A scary kitchen.
Yes, you look little in like this big world, but a lot of people have reached out to us and say, you guys don't talk about this game. You need to try it. So, I wish I would have checked this maybe during the Steam sale because $20 seems a little high for how short I've been researching it is. But you know what? I have to go by the people I trust who have played it. Pretty Little Liars is up on your YouTube stream, so stupid. And people that I talked to who have played it have said it's really good and worth it. So, check that out if you guys at all out there like scary games. I think it's out for basically everything.
That does not look like a $20 game at all, I have to tell you. Don't you think?
Well, there's a little kid, like you're this tiny little person with a tiny toilet and you're climbing like some dresser. I don't know. People say it's really cool. So immerse yourself in Little Nightmares, a dark, whimsical tale that lets you control your childhood fears, help Six escape the maw, a vast, mysterious vessel inhabited by corrupted souls looking for the next meal. That's harsh. Hard times.
Interesting.
Yeah, my sister watched Pretty Little Liars. I never did. You're really into that. They're carrying a casket.
They are.
Pretty hard. So yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff tonight. Hopefully not caskets, but video games. John, I know that you have played a new game. You have a new purchase that you made. I tried something brand new as well myself.
Oh, you did?
I'm curious to ask you if you have any interest in it, or our listeners if they have any interest in it. And I want like a serious kind of conversation about it. So I'll get into that during my 10-second spotlight as well.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, cool. So why don't we move on then? Let's do our 10-second spotlight. Each of us has 10 seconds to tell where we're playing, drinking, and anything else we can cram into a very stupid 10 seconds. Going first, of course, the queen of the ball, Michelle.
So yes, as I mentioned, I spent a bit of time with my sister over the past week, and she was really interested in her PS4 Pro. That's like her go-to kind of gaming machine. Like I said, she's a single-player gamer, and she really enjoys it. And we went over kind of playing some of the games that she showed me in the past that I have played, like Last of Us Remastered and Until Dawn. Now, she wanted to play Until Dawn again, and I have played a little bit of this game with her before, and it's free this month. It's part of the PS Plus free games for July, so I don't want to be Matt here and only talk about free stuff, but I think there were some decent games this month for PS Plus free games, because the Game of Thrones, the Telltale game, while it was kind of like if you like Game of Thrones, I think there might be some enjoyment there, but Until Dawn is actually, it's an interesting type of game. I know I talked about it before, but just really quickly, there's a butterfly effect. Everything you do has an impact on what happens later. So there's, a bunch of people, Remy Malek from Mr. Robot, Hayden Panettiere from Heroes that you might recognize, and it's like these kids that are camping in the woods, and there's a serial killer, and basically every decision you make.
Are they too perfect? Are they hipsters in the woods?
Well, there's a lot of Gap ad clothes going on, John. I was definitely watching all their clothes and critiquing all their clothes. I was thinking, what am I doing here? Somebody's about to get murdered, and I'm looking at her boots, but some of them had really nice boots.
Wow.
And there were a lot of like stretchy jeans, because this is a couple of years old. So when those stretchy jean leggings were in, yeah, basically it's kind of cool. I think it's like a cool free game to check out. So if you have PS Plus, there's no reason not to. But it's less of a game and more of an interactive novel.
Really?
And yeah, I like my favorite part of the game, being an old psych major, was that they have a psychologist in it. He played Abruzzi on Prison Break, if you remember him. But I think he's a voice actor who's done a lot of work in video games. He plays a psychologist who asks you questions like, what are you scared of? Is it this scarecrow or is it this clown? Right? So everything you pick is going to come back in the game at some point. And haunt you. So if you're like, I'm really scared of rats, they're going to show up in the game, which is interesting though, because the game takes place in a part of Canada where they actually got rid of rats. I learned that while doing research, reading about the game with my sister. So apparently it's the only province in the world and in Canada where there are no rats, because there was a big rat problem I don't know if it's where it is in Canada, I forget where, but there's no rats in Canada, but that's supposed to take place there, and yet there are rats in the game. So other than that, I don't know, it's kind of fun. My sister loves it. Like, she wants to play this game like 5 times to see all the different outcomes she can get, because there's apparently 1,000 different choices and all these different outcomes.
Right.
And so I think it's worth checking out.
When I saw that
games.
Was free, I was like, wow, this is a good game to be on PlayStation Plus.
The full lineup this month is Until Dawn, Game of Thrones, Tokyo Jungle, Darkstalkers Resurrection, Element 4i PS Vita, Don't Die, Mr. Robot PS Vita, Crossbuy, and PS4. So I think my top 2 picks would be the Game of Thrones and
But
Until
you're
Dawn.
also naming the rest of those games, though, are PS3 though.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Tokyo Jungle, though. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard some people mention it and say that was kind of a good pick. But I mean, if you're going to subscribe anyway, I think that this month, it's worth checking out Until Dawn.
Whoa, what is Tokyo Jungle? There's like, what?
It's a jungle in Tokyo, clearly.
It looks like that Will Smith movie.
Which one? I Am Legend?
Yeah, is that what it is? Where the animals are like in New York City?
So.
What?
Yeah. Oh, was this that one where that crazy? Do you remember talking about a game like this like many, many years ago where like a beagle turned into a tiger or something like this? We talked about this game before, John, on the show, like literally 5 years ago.
Really?
Yes. They're like two beagles fucking in the picture you're looking at. Pardon my
Where?
French. We
Wait.
talked about this game. There is some insane like this game is insane. I remember that there's something crazy going on in it, some
Look at
crazy
these
feature.
cute little dog. What is this game?
Yeah, Old
Oh,
Crank
here's the.
is a great game, especially for free. I have heard that this game is great. I don't know anything about it. Maybe I
We
will
need
have to.
yeah, you need to play
We
it
talked
too.
about this before, and I remember we something with a beagle or a
Look,
basset hound.
look at the screen.
Yeah, but something happened. There's like dogs and cats roaming around the streets. Yeah, I think we should play this and talk about it next week. You should stream it or some shit. So yeah, check this out. If you're going to subscribe anyway, I think some of these games are worth it. We had purchased Until Dawn, so we owned it anyway, but it kind of got us, you're just looking at pictures of animals. We had purchased it, so it kind of got us in the mood to play it again when we saw that it was free, and there was a lot of hype about it. Okay, so I also tried something that I want to know if you have any interest in trying, and I mentioned this on the show before.
Baconaise?
No, it's not Baconaise.
Ah.
It's called LiquidSky, and the 2.0 beta is out. And basically, I want to know honestly, because you are a bit of a mobile gamer, and I know we have some mobile gamers listening who love the Switch. Would you
Why
be interested?
Why are you labeling me all this weird shit?
My God.
Now I'm a fucking mobile gamer? What is this?
John, you said that the Switch is the best handheld ever made, so you like to play games on times, right?
On planes, but I'm not like going to the park and playing Pokemon Go.
All right, fine. I retract my fucking statement, okay, since you're so sensitive to labels. Sometimes you like to play games on the go. My question to you is, LiquidSky 2.0, basically it puts any video game that can be played on a PC, like any PC, if it's on Steam, Blizzard, Windows, whatever, it can be played on any Android device. So that could be your phone, your tablet, whatever, any Android device, okay? So basically, it hit the store, Google Play, I downloaded it, I tried it. I did not get selected to play free, but I checked out their pricing plans, a little bit more about it, and I was kind of curious.
It's OnLive on your phone, basically.
Okay, but the guy who set this up, I guess he talked a little bit about OnLive and why it was a failure, and he said that they're using some completely different technology now, and he says that it's going to completely work. It has an advantage. Basically, you can do something for free and earn credits while you play. I guess maybe if you use your machine as hosting or something like that. So, or if you want to watch ads, you can. Let me explain this to you. You don't need a nice PC in your house. You are playing your games that you buy, that you own, like you can purchase them without I know I'm explaining it to our listeners. If you're familiar with LiquidSky, which a lot of people probably aren't, you're basically playing these games on LiquidSky's supercomputer, but they're games you purchased. You're not renting the games or playing the games to them. You're taking your library there, and you can play it on the go on any mobile device. So,
but that's what's different is that you can access your Steam library, right?
It's games you've already purchased. You don't have to say, hey, I'm going to go buy this from LiquidSky. You're going to say, wait a minute, I own all these games on Steam, but I want to play them on my tablet. I want to play them on my phone. And that's what you can do. And, some of the pricing seems really reasonable.
How does it access your Steam library?
But you log in with your Steam. You link your Steam account.
Okay,
and you're not playing off your computer. So you could have like the worst computer ever. You could have just purchased it at steam.community.com or wherever you purchase games on Steam. You could have purchased it, a Blizzard game, or you could have purchased it anywhere really. You're linking your accounts. So the thing is, I think some of their pricing is pretty reasonable. I guess it's like $10 for 25 hours a month. And let's say you're playing once.
What's the price again? $20 a month.
No, they have a plan at 10 too. Then they have an ad plan, which is free. So for 10 a month, you get like 4 hours, maybe 25 hours or some shit.
You get
pay as you go.
And you're paying as low as 33 cents an hour.
I think you pay 80 hours. You pay $20 a month. But I think, okay, my question to you is, even the free version with ads, or even the $10 a month version for 25 hours, because they're still kind of, would you at all ever be interested?
And then
you could be like, you know what, I'm not going to build a gaming PC for
$1,000.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay $10 a month when I feel like it, when I feel like playing a game, right? And I'm going to play it on my PC, because you're streaming from one of their supercomputers.
Right.
And,
so how was it, by the way?
I didn't try it because I didn't get selected for free and I didn't buy it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm on the wait list to get selected. So, but from what I've been hearing and from people, I guess Engadget did a review and a couple of people have tried it. It's actually works pretty well. So,
I mean, listen,
uh,
this is without a doubt where we're going. Okay, is it
yes,
next year? Is it this year? Is it 10 years from now? You know, we're gonna have gaming channels on our cable or whatever it is. You know, that's instead of HBO, it's EA. You know,
yes,
that's what's gonna
yes,
happen here. And so
right,
it's just a function of time here. And
right,
so OnLive was really ahead of the curve too soon, maybe. So maybe
yes.
these guys are coming in at the right time, and now we're ready to do this. So I don't know. I would like to try this. It's coming soon on the Mac. You can download it right now for Windows.
It's completely free. You can get it on Windows. You can get it on Android.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever coming to iOS devices, but I think there are a lot of people
Now
who,
NHS in the chat makes a really good point though. He says if you don't want to mod your games, you can't.
Mhm.
You're running vanilla versions on their servers.
Yeah, but I think for like, I would call when you're gaming on the go casual gaming. And let's be real, most PC games that are using controllers are probably a bit more casual anyway. You're not going to go play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds with a mouse and keyboard on the bus.
But don't you
You know what
think
I'm
that,
saying?
I think the mobile version of this right now is a novelty, and I think the
Mhm.
Windows and Mac version is way more viable.
Yeah. Well, I think there's maybe, I mean, there's some people that to me, I think the mobile version of it is more interesting, but I guess that's because I'm not thinking about like the internet issues. Like I'm thinking about, let's say you are somebody who travels and you're in the hotel and you're on the hotel's Wi-Fi, but you didn't bring your PC with you, you didn't bring your console with you, but hey, you know what? You brought your Android tablet or
Right.
your Android phone with you.
With a
So now all of a sudden
controller
you pop it into a controller
or
or
an
you just
iPad.
grab well, no iOS yet, but
Mm.
your Android tablet, right? Or which they have most of the market anyway. I mean, Apple's losing 15% every year, but you grab your Android device or even your shitty laptop, like you said, and you're on the hotel's Wi-Fi, but all of a sudden you are playing all of your games that you
No, I
have.
like that. I mean, that's very appealing.
Right,
I agree with you. You know, but I'm
right.
just whatever. I think right now that it's more appealing on shitty computers, which I think a lot of
Yeah.
people might have. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got
Well, Buffs in the chat says shitty PC users would benefit with this. So yeah, I mean, there
yes.
could be a lot of people out there who maybe they only want to use this for exclusives that they don't. But let's be real, like a lot of the games here that people are going to be playing are probably just games that come out for everything. But listen, think about it this way. You don't have a way to play your Xbox or your PlayStation games on the bus, right? But or the only games you can really do that with are the Switch games and maybe now the entire PC library with LiquidSky. So I think the pricing is appropriate. I think the technology is there, it's solid, but you have to have the internet to back it up. But the people I've talked to that have tried it, the reviews that I've read said it's pretty solid, and any PC game that you can play with a controller is very friendly to it. And it's nice to know that you don't have to purchase the games again or rent them or pay some there's like I said, I think there's free versions with ads and you can gain credits and then pay with the credits from watching ads and all this crap. So I don't know, it's worth checking out. It's completely free. Go get on the wait list, try the beta.
I'd like to try
That's
it
what I did.
actually. I'm gonna
Yeah, sign up because
I'm
you never know.
well, I'm gonna install the Windows version maybe and just see what it's like. I
I
mean,
don't. I wouldn't even bother with the Windows. The fact that imagine having your nice 13-inch Android tablet even or your phone. Like this was my argument with the Switch, and I know you need the Wi-Fi to back it up, and maybe we're not there yet, but Google's working on making sure there's Wi-Fi spots everywhere. For the future. Let's say we're there. With the Switch, I always would say, why do I want this crappy little screen when I have my $1,000 phone with a really nice screen, and now I can play my games on it? Like once we get there, I think it's gonna be a good thing. So you can turn up your nose to this. Maybe some people are and saying it's stupid, but I kind of feel like what we're seeing is a glimpse, like we said, of the future
yeah, I
when
agree.
it gets there. And I think that this is the
I kind
next
of
iteration.
wish they had an option though to play games that you don't own, because that's a little more
Well, if
appealing.
you want that, you can do NVIDIA. The NVIDIA has a streaming service like that where you rent games. But I don't think people want to do that with games. I think people want to own them.
No, I think the future is like a Netflix or an HBO where you
Yeah.
have a big library of shit and you don't own
Yeah.
anything. You just pay a monthly fee.
Well, isn't that like PS Plus and Xbox and crap?
Yeah, it is. But
I
you
don't
know
know.
what?
Everybody's having their own version of this.
Yeah.
It's cloud gaming, basically what it is. It's cloud gaming off one of their supercomputers with your games that you purchased. Maybe it's because you have a bad PC. Maybe it's because you're traveling. Who knows? Like there's a myriad of reasons that you might want to use this. But I think it's definitely worth checking out if you have an Android device or a PC, check it out and get on the wait list. The beta 2.0 just came out and they're going to allow you to try it free during the beta if you get selected. If not, you can try the free version with ads. Okay, so I also tried Doomfist. Okay. Now, this is an Overwatch thing, but just really quickly because the internet's losing its shit about this. But what don't they lose their shit about? But there's going to be a new Overwatch character called Doomfist, and I wanted to talk to you about it, John, because I know you've been playing ARMS a little bit, and this guy has a mega right hook that you might want to check out. He does. This is a character that is almost has like a superhero vibe to me, because he can shoot straight up in the air and then stomp straight down with his fist, and he does like a big AoE. He has a shotgun on his other hand.
Now he's very manly for a I'm a little threatened by his masculinity, Michelle.
I kind of like it. I think
I don't know. I feel intimidated by the whole thing.
He's got like a mechanical arm, a mechanical leg. I think you would have a lot of fun with this character.
He looks badass, but he's so masculine. I don't know.
To talk about this. So, hey, Jake, I'm talking about this especially for you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I think right now he feels very strong. Of course, he's on the PTR. You can't play him yet. You can play him if you download the public test realm. He'll be out probably in a week or two or however long it's going to be. But he is very strong, and you feel really powerful playing him. I mean, he's very mobile. What's gross?
I'm
strong.
I'm a little. It's just.
You want some dude like?
No, I'm joking because all the other characters they've been releasing have all been these kind of.
There's been a lot of women lately, right? There's been, but their last couple of characters have been chicks. But this is a real man's man, I believe.
Yes.
He plays the offense role. He has a hand cannon. A seismic slam that sounds like a sex move. Oh, okay, the uppercut I think is the most fun, John, because you punch somebody like a big haymaker, like uppercut to the chin, and they go flying in the air, and so do you. Like, it's pretty crazy. So he has also a rocket punch, and he has like a lot of shields he can generate in a meteor strike, where, like I said, his ultimate, he leaps in the air and crashes down and starts, kicking the shit out of people. So he's very mobile, and I think a lot of people are going to like the physical kind of in-your-face boxing feel. It's like people were joking and saying it's like their version of ARMS. It's ARMS. It's a punch-out. It's Mike Tyson. And yeah, Old Crank it's emasculating to John. Do you feel threatened that maybe he could beat you up?
I'm making a fucking joke.
I think he is too. I think that so I think he feels kind of fun, and I know Gingerbread Man saying his hand cannon does it too. Yeah, I think everything you do is a lot of knockbacks and there's combos with this character, which I was still trying to figure out. I guess you can kind of roll combos and get more points and get more shields.
It's not all melee combat though, right? What he does?
Yeah, well, he does shoot in the air and slam down, so I don't know how you want to count that. But he has a shotgun, the hand cannon. See this? I'm playing it right now. So it's kind of like a shotgun hand. So, but he's definitely more of an in-your-face character, but he can cover a lot of ground. Like, to me, he's like a mech warrior. Like, he can charge at you, almost feels like he's flying at you. But the uppercuts, I had a lot of fun with. So, I'm going to check it out when he comes out to officially to Overwatch again. I will play some games with him, and that's what happens with Overwatch. Whenever they add something new, I play it. So that's not I
want to play him badly, honestly.
I think you might like it.
He looks fun.
Or Seismic? I don't know. He was a lot of fun. So also I finally kind of just quickly wanted to mention something that is weird, and I guess I don't know if this maybe happened a while ago, but I've been kind of keeping my eye on what Amazon has been doing, as we both are subscribers or Prime members, but they just had Prime Day. And something I noticed is they purchased Twitch, and Twitch has been giving away the free games every month. But then something happened where Twitch or Amazon purchased Curse. And if you didn't know what Curse was, they had all these add-ons for MMOs, like Warcraft especially, and they had their own little app. So I guess that Amazon purchased Curse, and I went to launch the Curse app the other day so I could update my Warcraft add-ons, and all of a sudden they were installing the Twitch desktop app. And all of my games were there in the library that I had gotten for probably the past year, free games, and I had like 15 of them. And it was weird because they had basically a Discord server in there where you could do voice chat now. They had chat rooms. They had the Twitch streams and your Twitch games. It's like an all-in-one everything. And it's like Amazon is slowly coming after this gaming market.
So this app right now is what you're describing. This is their Origins or Uplay. Is that what it is?
It's basically like Steam mixed with Discord.
Yep.
Mixed with I don't know, with Twitch. I think it's streaming And Twitch also launched an app where you can stream mobile games now on any Android device, I believe.
Can you purchase games directly through this app?
I'm not sure. I didn't see that. But this is an app that, like, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, holy shit, Gingerbread Man said it happened to him 3 months ago. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, what happened to my Curse app? And so Curse is no more. It is now Twitch, which is, of course, Amazon. And I'm seeing kind of these moves. Obviously, Amazon is slowly, going after the gaming market. And I just find it interesting. And I'm curious kind of where they will go and kind of what the next step is. Because when you have Discord and Twitch and Steam in a way rolled into one, is the next step, like you say, buying the games outright.
Well, I mean, listen.
Oh, it's also for add-ons, like Gingerbread Man is saying. Yeah, you also get all your add-ons there for games.
Right.
So if you're an MMO player, you know all about add-ons. You probably have tons of them for your map trackers and quest trackers. So it's like everything all in one, and it's like Amazon behind the wheel under the guise of Twitch and Curse now.
Right, which is a major threat to YouTube because, like, YouTube gaming, we like it. We both do it on instead of Twitch for whatever reason. Yeah. But YouTube's got Google behind it, which is great. Because they have great technology for streaming and it's stable and all that crap. But Amazon has the store, right? And they just flicked the switch, and they are now head-to-head with Steam and everybody. Like, and they have the bitchin' streaming service on top of it. Like, this is... If I was Google right now, I'd be freaking out about Amazon. Don't you think?
Well, I think obviously Google's not shaking in their boots.
It's all about the library, though. We keep talking about this, right?
Right.
It's all about the library.
My phone is talking to me right now because I must have said Google.
Yeah.
And it's trying to turn on. Go away, phone. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's great to have competition. I feel like Beam or Mixer is nowhere in the mix here.
Well, Microsoft's doing the same thing, right? So Microsoft's over here going, we got the Xbox store, we got the Windows store, and then we have Mixer. Google doesn't have the store. They don't have that play right now.
They don't have it.
They
don't have it.
They need the store, and that's coming.
You need YouTube. YouTube gaming needs like YouTube gaming games that you can buy. Like,
oh
here's
my
your
God,
library.
Michelle,
go to YouTube Red, and you own a game every month.
Now listen, like I just noticed this on the YouTube app the other day.
Yes.
There is a section of YouTube originals that looks exactly like fucking Netflix when you go there, and it's all stupid ass shows, by the way. It's like they basically made like movie posters for like a PewDiePie episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's all the original stuff. So they're It's like they're trying to jockey themselves to a position where they have a store and they have something to market. But they don't have the game.
Twitch now, though, from becoming a bit more like YouTube, where it's more content than gaming. And I think they're more hip and cool in younger people's eyes, whereas YouTube is now seen as like YouTube is basically kind of shitty right now because they're shutting down content that might be offensive, like PewDiePie or something like that. They're kind of showing the advertising is important. Twitch is looked at more as like free, kind of anything goes.
But Twitch is right now premiering shows. And they streamed like Mr. Rogers for a day or whatever.
Yes, exactly. And Happy Little Trees, Bob. Yeah. So I think we need to watch Twitch and Amazon, of course. And they are taking a bite out of YouTube.
It's all about the store, guys. You watch.
YouTube needs to get with it more with their streaming, with YouTube gaming. Like, they launched YouTube gaming. It's a bit awkward. It's like the same thing as YouTube, but just you can put on night mode.
You change the URL.
Yeah, the URL changes, right? It's like weird. And so, it's nice to see Microsoft innovating with Mixer and having like the dual streams and all that crap, but YouTube isn't doing any of that. And Twitch is doing more stuff. So I don't know. This app, I have to say, like, there's no reason really not to get it if you are an Amazon Prime member, because like I looked and I had 15 games in there and I did nothing to get them. I just was a Prime member. So I don't know. I know I hate apps.
Damien makes a good point, though. He says, now what if Google does this? He says if a company is going to do game streaming, it's Google for sure. So what if YouTube gaming doesn't become a store where you buy something, it becomes a service like YouTube Red? Like, what if they flick the switch tomorrow and says, all YouTube Red subscribers get all of our original content, which is the PewDiePie, whatever, and then you get this library of games you can stream. Then YouTube Red becomes something very interesting.
Well, YouTube Red should be something different for YouTube gaming than it is for YouTube. Like they need to embrace YouTube gaming more because it's just awkward. It's just a URL at this point and it does nothing different for you. And I kind of don't really like it. But it's good to see Twitch. At first I was against it and I was like, Twitch, you're a gaming service. What are you doing? But now there's people, they realize that people, it's like Netflix and chill, right? People just want to watch shows while they talk. This is what's happening here. Like people just want to watch TV with a chat room. It's like Mystery Science Theater while they're watching shit while they're talking. So if Twitch and Amazon run with that and they have original content and programming, they're going to be like YouTube 2.0. They're not just going to be gaming streaming. They're going to be TV shows. Maybe they'll develop their own content. So interesting to see where it goes. And if you have, if you are somebody who uses I needed the Curse desktop app anyway. I used it for my add-on. So now I have my Twitch stuff. I'm kind of happy. Like they all in one it for me. So I hope Amazon keeps buying more shit. I'm not like the article I read, which pissed me off. And this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I read an article that said why I'm not signing up for Amazon Prime and why I will never buy something on Amazon Prime.
Irritating.
It was an article from The Verge, and it was a guy going off about how if you like something, you should pay full price for it, and that Amazon is a dangerous monopoly, and that 2-day shipping is dangerous for everybody, and we're all too spoiled. And you know what? Suck a dick, because I love it. And
the part I hated too is that you should be paying full price for something you like. Don't support Amazon because they discount stuff, and everyone's getting hurt by it.
Yes, as if Amazon's getting hurt because I'm paying them. Trust me, they're upselling anyway, and they, so I think that it's a good thing that I like. I was like against them buying Twitch at first, but it's only done good stuff for me. I now have games I didn't buy that I just have free. I've got free loot in games, like I got all the PUBG clothes, even though they were ugly. I like the fact that Amazon's dipping its toes into the gaming market. It's just more competition. It makes it more interesting. So anyway, I like that this app, and I think if you have Amazon Prime and you have Twitch, link your freaking accounts. There's no reason not to. Don't be scared. So I think that is about it for me. I know we're going to talk about Castlevania after the show and our bonus show. I'm super excited. We're going to get into the lore, and I am drinking a Mexican Coke in a bottle, John.
Wow. The Mexican's in the bottle?
The Mexican is in the bottle. Let me check this out. Yeah. Although there's English on it. It says, oh, no, there's not. No.
Is there a sticker on it?
It says no retornable. Refresco, Coca-Cola. Yeah,
Refresco.
I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what the fuck it says. It's refreshing.
Refresco.
It's not non-refundable, maybe.
I've noticed that when I see like the Mexican Coke bottles like at a normal grocery store, they always have like a sticker on them that has like the English shit on it, right?
Well, there's a sticker here, that's sort of telling you what's going on. Carbonated water and sugar.
Right, that's the translation, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's always that sticker. It always makes me curious. Like, there's the damn sticker.
Hencho and Mexico.
Why is there a sticker on there?
They need to tell us Americans what this fucking shit says. Anyway.
Like, you're going to look at it and go, what is this? What is
Zero
this?
says it's racist that I'm drinking Mexican Coke.
Right.
Well, listen, the Mexicans know what's up because they use real sugar, not corn syrup. So.
And the thing is, the Mexican Coke is a real thing because all the grocery stores have it now. And they also have the orange one, too. Is it Fanta?
Yeah, I don't really like that. There's also Sprite and I think Pepsi and stuff, too, that use real sugar. But, back in the day, and I've talked about this before on the show, our Cokes, we used to use real sugar and probably real Coke, as people said. But now we use corn syrup, and it doesn't taste as bright to me. So shout out to the Coca-Cola company and all the Mexicans who made this happen. All right, John.
Yes.
I know you bought a game.
Listen.
And a product.
I wanted to have fun.
You did?
I just wanted to have fun.
Are you Cyndi Lauper? What happened, John?
I really wanted to have fun this week. All right, so I went to Target.
Yes.
To buy my dog a pool, and I decided to what?
You bought your dog a little kiddie pool?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
And he loves it. But anyway, so I decided to go into the appliance section like I like to do, and I decided to make an impulse purchase, and I bought Crash Bandicoot in Insane Trilogy. And this is for the PlayStation 4. It's an exclusive right now. Now, I want to tell you my Crash Bandicoot history here because, without a doubt, my gaming life has been Pong, Atari, Nintendo, 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 Nintendo,
Yes.
and then like PC, Xbox. Like that's like my whole gaming history, you know?
I can't believe you skipped over PlayStation and PS2.
Right. I mean,
Like,
in between there
that
too.
was my entire
Yeah. In between
teenage.
there, I had Atari 800 XL, which was a big
Right.
chunk of my life before the NES. But anyway, so like I was once the NES came out, like I was a Nintendo fanboy instantly, right? And I got the NES, the Super Nintendo, the GameCube, and then the Nintendo 64, and then when the Nintendo 64 came out, you know, the PlayStation 1 came out. And I never got any of the Sega stuff at all. But of all the like PlayStation stuff that was coming out, the one thing I was always jealous of was Crash Bandicoot, because they made it look so great in the commercials, right?
I loved this game, and so did my sister when we were younger. Yeah, and it was always like a Sony PlayStation thing. So it's good to kind of see it as an exclusive. Believe it or not, for me, it makes sense. But to you, you're kind of the first time you're getting to really play it, right?
Yeah, because I know I played Crash Bandicoot at some point. I think my sister, got a PlayStation 1, and I think I borrowed it for a couple weeks, and like I rented some games.
You were like, oh, this is too masculine for me, just like Doomfist. I cannot play with this.
That's right. So
where's Mario's jumper?
Yeah, so I think I borrowed her PlayStation, and then like I rented some games at Blockbuster or something, and I remember playing Crash Bandicoot in my living room in my old apartment. But I don't remember how I had it or why I had it. But like I remember like playing it though and thinking that it sucked, honestly. I remember like thinking, wow, this is so much more limited than Mario 64, because Mario 64.
Wait a minute, we have a couple of chatters here who don't trust you. Asian Slick Slaya and Michelle Sanchez says an above ground pool, can't trust him. And Asian Slick Slaya says, wait, John bought an above ground pool and we aren't touching this?
It was a $10 plastic.
John, you know how we all feel about
it. Was basically a fucking like portable. It was like a big bucket essentially.
Right.
It's $10. It was. Listen, my wife and kids wanted to do it on the deck. I got the pool, and the dog fucking loves it. Okay.
You should have done an in-ground dog pool with this picture I'm looking at.
I should have built an in-ground. He fucking loves that pool. It's fun as fuck. You should see him like trying to get everything out of it. He's like so fucking confused because like the bone is like underwater, and he's like,
and he's trying to get at it.
And he's like, I don't know what to do. I could see it, I could touch it, but I can't get it.
All right, so let's talk about Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. This is a reboot.
Well, no, it's remastered versions of the 3 Crash Bandicoot games. Okay. So it's like Crash Bandicoot 1, and then like Cortex's Revenge. And then the third one is called, I forgot. Whatever. It's the 3 big PS1 platforming games. And so I was actually very excited to do this and play this because I have these memories of when these games came out. I knew it was a big deal that, you know, Sony was going after Nintendo in a really big way, and at the same time, Sega was too with Sonic, right? Because everybody wanted that Mario mascot, you know, and I stayed loyal to Mario.
Don't compare Sonic to Mario, please.
But Mario started all that mascot shit, you know. Sega,
I don't think he did.
Yeah, he did.
Sorry, no.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Sonic was a product to go after Mario, and Crash was a product to go after Mario as well. But anyway,
I don't think so.
I most definitely think so.
Sonic would shit on Mario.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
So, anyway, I decided to play the middle game, which is Cortex's Revenge. And is that the guy's name, Cortex? And so visually, and by the way, this is supposedly not going to be a PlayStation exclusive. Like,
yeah, I think this is going to come to Xbox and PC as well. And maybe, wait, it couldn't come to the Switch, could it? That would be weird.
Why couldn't it?
I don't know.
I mean, at this point, Michelle, this is just an Activision published title.
Wait, old Crikey says, is Pac-Man a mascot? Are you sure that Mario wasn't to go after Pac-Man?
Pac-Man at the time was whatever. Stop!
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo invented the wheel.
No, I'm telling you that Sonic was going after... All the commercials were that way. Where they were like Sonic...
Every game made after...
What?
Mario... Super Mario Brothers was to go after Super Mario Brothers.
Absolutely. Didn't you see the Crash Bandicoot commercial where he goes to Nintendo? I mean, it was literally to fucking go after them. Hang on. You think I'm wrong?
Listen, I'm just saying that
Look.
everything created after Super Mario Brothers was to go after them. Every single game.
Yeah,
and everything that came before, there were no other mascots until
Yeah,
Mario.
here's the fucking video with Crash Bandicoot going to Nintendo to say fuck
John,
you to
as
you
a
guys.
retro guy, what are you saying about Pac-Man?
I'm saying that Pac-Man wasn't as strong of a mascot.
I see. I think a lot of people might disagree with that. That Pac-Man is more iconic than Mario, especially globally.
Yeah. All right.
Pac-Man
Anyway,
was the first fucking emoji, John.
What's that?
He was the first emoji. That big yellow ball.
Yeah, he is. All right. So Crash.
I liked those commercials. Yeah.
Crash. Okay, so this trilogy is $40. You get all 3 games. I played the middle game because I read some reviews. Actually, it was one review that said that the middle game was the best, Crash Bandicoot 2, right?
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I'll play that one. Maybe it's more refined than the first one. I'm pretty sure I played the first one already back on the PlayStation 1. And
you told me you always hated these games, though.
Well, I did. I said that in the beginning of all this. Like, I rented Crash Bandicoot, and I thought it sucked compared to Mario 64. But I've been in the mood for some just good old-fashioned platforming fun. And the thing about Crash Bandicoot is that it's on rails, right? It's very linear as compared to Mario 64. And, like, that was my big complaint back then, and it's my big complaint now. Because really, at the end of the day, this is nothing more than a 2D platformer that's just where the camera rotates every now and then, you know? So instead of, like, the camera being to the side and stuck there, let's put the camera behind the character.
It has that classic Sony vibe to me, like Jak and Daxter even, for the later games. Like, there's just, like, kind of, the personality of it is there, and I don't think you ever connected with that.
Right, but
maybe if you grew up playing this and you had fond memories.
But the thing is, I'm not saying I'm unhappy with this because I actually really have been enjoying it, and it's actually gotten quite hard. I'm on the second world. I beat the first boss, and I
would have wanted to start with the first if I was going to do all 3 or something.
Well, the thing is, it's realistically, I'm not going to play all 3 of them.
Right.
So I'm just going to focus on
the best one.
I'm just going to focus on one of them. And the review I read said that the second one was the best of the bunch, so I'm like, I'll just play that one, right?
And how much is this? I'm sorry, is it $40?
It's $40.
Okay.
And I totally recommend this. Like, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I really did.
It's interesting to hear you say that, because normally when you go back and play remasters, even Ukulele,
I think
you're like, it sucks.
I enjoyed this. And here's the thing. Ultimately, I ended up liking the game because it was on rails. Like, the thing is, though, you got to understand, too, is that, okay, this is a remastered version, but the controls actually suck in this game. Like, it's floaty as fuck. It's hard to control Crash when you're jumping. And it's just, like, the controls honestly suck. I think they really suck. Like, when you're jumping up in the air and you're trying to land somewhere that's diagonal from you, it's really clunky, Michelle. It just really is. And it's frustrating, but the more you keep playing it, the more you kind of get used to the controls. You're fighting them less and less. And, like, I was starting to feel like an accomplishment when I was getting past these areas.
Well, that's part of what makes it different from games of today, though, maybe. And CC Games in the chat says he can't keep it in stock, so it's apparently doing well. And I can't wait to see what happens when this game goes elsewhere, because, I could see this showing up on a Steam sale or something and me actually picking it up, too. But I feel like 40, I don't know. 3 games, though. 40's good.
Is it on the
40's good for I don't think it is yet, but I think it's coming.
Yeah, I read something. I Googled it trying to figure out if it was on the PC or coming there. Yeah. But this is an Activision title, so there's nothing about it that's going to keep it on the PlayStation.
Didn't it used to be Naughty Dog?
Yeah, Naughty Dog had something to do with, like, the racing game and shit. Like, I guess the kart racer is supposed to be really legendary.
So I'm surprised to hear that you recommend it, because Old Cranky in the chat is saying, so after 20 years, they still haven't fixed the controls. And obviously, we had big issues with the controls in Ukulele. But you're admitting here that the controls are kind of old. They're retro. They don't work anymore. But yet, you still had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too. Like, when I was playing this game, I was trying to figure out the original game, was it made for a D-pad or an analog stick? Right? Because I know at some point in the PlayStation's life, they brought out the joystick with the analog stick. Initially, it just had a D-pad. And I didn't know how this fit into the timeline, so I was wondering if this game, and maybe the chatters can tell me, when this game came out, did they only have the D-pad on the PlayStation 1?
No.
What?
We had directional. We had thumbsticks.
I don't think the original PlayStation controller did. It did not. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. The first PlayStation 1 controller only had a D-pad.
No thumbsticks.
Yeah. So I don't
remember that at all.
When I was playing the game, I was wondering if this game was designed for the D-pad or was it designed
D-pad all the way? Everybody's saying, yeah, D-pad all the way.
Okay, so because I wasn't sure where it fit in the timeline. so they're saying the first was the D-pad. So when I was playing it, I kept going back and forth between the D-pad and the analog stick, trying to find the one that I thought felt the most natural because I was finding the controls, and I was trying to understand, well, maybe this game was designed for the D-pad. And then, so there was, I don't know. They had the DualShock edition.
It kind of was a good remaster for you because you kind of missed out on these games. And it's interesting that you enjoyed them more than a game like Ukulele, where
I actually liked it more than Ukulele. Yeah. I really did.
It's shocking. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
The first boss battle, it was some stupid kangaroo, whatever. It stumped me. And then when I figured it out, I'm like, oh, stupid, duh. I actually enjoyed it, and then when I passed it, I was like, yes, And there's a lot of replayability. They want you to go back to the levels and find all the fucking jewels and get all the boxes. But I'm telling you the truth. I like this game. I recommend it. I think for $40 it's great. I've only played the second game. I'm gonna try to finish it. I don't think it's that long. How long is it actually? I don't even know.
I don't know. I'm watching. They also did one of those commercials, like the retro commercials. They did a new one. It's on their website.
With the
guy in the suit. Yeah. People are asking, what is a Bandicoot? I guess he's what is he, a badger, like Tasmanian devil type thing?
Yeah,
he
I guess
spins,
so.
And he's kind of a hybrid. I don't know. I didn't hate it. Is that your review?
I definitely did not hate it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember that old PlayStation 1 controller. Yeah, I'm looking at your picture. I mean, I liked my PlayStation 1, but I didn't fully go PlayStation crazy until my PS2. The library there is just insane. And I can't believe you skipped over PlayStation 2. Because to me, it's more iconic than my original Nintendo, almost, in a way.
I mean, the first PlayStation I ever personally owned was the 3.
Yeah, and to me that was See, what happened was when the Xbox 360 came out versus the old Xbox, even that's when I kind of made the swap to be an Xbox gamer. Maybe even the original Xbox, because it was more of a focus for online playing at the time. Sony, remember how late they were to the game? You couldn't multiplayer chat and you couldn't do all the stuff.
I mean, basically Rainbow Six made me an Xbox fanboy.
Right, which was funny because they used to call me an Xbox fangirl at the time, and I used to have to say, I grew up on PC games, and then I was kind of a Sony fangirl. So all of a sudden, we go where whoever's doing what fits most with what we like at the time, right? What does it best at the time.
What does it best? Because when I got my first Xbox, at that moment in time, I was a GameCube and PC gamer. And I was playing online Counter-Strike and Battlefield 1942 like fucking crazy, right? Yeah. And I didn't think that a console could do that online the same way, right? And because nothing had before that for me. There's always those rumors the GameCube would get a modem and shit, And then I get the first Xbox, and I'm playing Rainbow Six online and doing voice chat, which is something I never did during the Counter-Strike days. It blew my fucking mind because it all works so fucking well.
But at the time, the Xbox and Xbox 360 especially were mind-blowing. They were crazy. They were great. And I feel like,
it worked. Xbox Live was legit great.
It was great. And I remember I was always yelling, I was hurt by it because I'd always loved my PS2. And, I was like, why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing the multiplayer thing? They didn't want to embrace it at the time. They kind of thought it was a fad, I think.
PlayStation sucked it up because, and then I remember SOCOM came out. And on PS3, I think it was.
Oh, yeah. SOCOM.
And that was one of the first games to do the online voice chat shit, and it sucked. It fucking blew.
But the game was pretty cool. It was a really good shooter.
Okay.
It actually caused me and a lot of people to get a PS3 at the time because I had moved on to Xbox by that point.
I mean, we used to play on Zero Commit, but the voice chat sucked. It was push to talk or something.
Exactly. You couldn't do a party chat with your friends.
It sucked.
It was bad. And they were late to the game.
They were super late.
they didn't really look at multiplayer gaming the same way that Xbox embraced it. So that's why, I think Xbox still carries that tradition today with the more of the multiplayer stuff, because even though your voicemail was long, I want to say hi to Justin, who called it and said, listen, I heard you guys last week talking about PC gaming and Xbox gaming. He says, I'm a PC gamer and an Xbox gamer. He says, you know what? I spend most of my time on my Xbox because that's where my friends are. And I think we can't forget about the power of community and where your friends are and where you're playing. And Xbox did that best. They did it better than PlayStation at the time. Of course, PlayStation caught up and had the better exclusives. Don't shit yourself out there. But in some of the single player games, and they still do now. But it's really interesting to see, and maybe some people who haven't been listening to the show for that long, or maybe some people who are new gamers, realize that gaming evolves and it changes. And nobody is really defined by what they're doing other than the last generation of stuff. And if you look at the big arc and the big picture, they're all doing different things. And I'm just so happy that now people can look at PlayStation Now or whatever, PS Plus, and it is on par with Xbox Live, because it wasn't always that way.
No, it wasn't.
And they were kind of dragging their heels. So I don't know. Check out Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, I guess, John.
I'm recommending that for $40. I think there's a lot of fun there. And it looks like the main story of Crash Bandicoot 2 is 6 to 8 hours or something. So I'm going to try to finish that. I'm telling you, though, I got to the second world, and I'm like, holy fuck, this game got hard quick. The platforming is brutal. And
good.
So, but, again, it's kind of like 2D platforming sensibility, but in a 3D world because of how it's on rails. But I don't know.
If they were going to remaster anything from the past, what game would you most want to see?
Remaster? Oh, God.
Yeah, where you could just play it again.
I'm very fond of the early 3D games, like Mario 64. I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I even
if those came to Virtual Console for the Switch, you would scoop those up immediately.
Well, Mario 64 has been already redone a gazillion times.
Okay.
It was on the DS, it was on the Wii, but they never really redid. The DS version was kind of revamped, but the Wii version was a straight up port. I'd like to see them seriously remake that game with new textures and everything, which they did with the Crash Bandicoot game.
Yeah.
Even Donkey Kong 64, I really liked. I know a lot of people pan that, but I enjoyed that. I mean, and Goldeneye, to play Goldeneye again.
Right.
Have you tried playing? By the way, if you go back to Goldeneye, it is so fucking bad. The controls are garbage. It's how the fuck did we play this? It is so jerky, the crosshair. Oh my God. What about you, Michelle? What would you like to see?
Well, I mean, I often mention that I had fond memories of Twisted Metal whenever I played Rocket League. I kind of was I wish they would give us powers and open up the maps and stuff, and I would love to see a revamped game. But no, my pick would be, and it sounds stupid because you can play this game for free in a browser right now. I love the Aladdin game on Sega Genesis. And when I played that game, even in the browser, it felt good. It didn't feel clunky. It just felt like a classic 2D platformer. So sometimes I get in the mood to play that game. I don't know why. It stuck with me. And there's certain games that just stick with me, like Ecco the Dolphin. I don't know why that game, I can't forget about that game. I often just think of it and I'm I want to play that. The first time I played Ecco the Dolphin, and I think it was on PS1. I remember maybe it was PS2. I don't remember which one, but the graphics blew me away.
I think it was PS1, wasn't it?
Yeah, the graphics blew me away. I felt like a fucking dolphin in the water.
That was one of the first kind of artsy games, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it was artsy, but it was just a little different, right? You're not playing as a person, you're a dolphin.
That was on the Genesis. That's right.
Was it?
It was on
the Genesis. Was it on the Genesis? Holy shit.
Was.
Well, then that's where I first played it. And I remember that it stuck with me. So a lot of these games, it's not like they're sticking with me, were on the Sega Genesis. So, I'd love to remaster some of those, some Sega games. Now, didn't Sega say they're doing that, though?
Well, yeah, there's an app right now that has their whole library or something.
Free?
Well, yeah, remember we did a news story on it. People were questioning
the whole library.
Yeah, I think so.
I gotta check that out. Maybe I'll check that out and talk about it.
But a lot of people said that the fucking Sega Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Sega, yeah, that's a Sega Genesis, whatever.
Sega
so
Forever.
I don't know. I would probably be one of those games. They've just stuck with me more than Nintendo.
Yeah,
obviously.
it's called Sega Forever, and
yeah. It's weird that we had very different, almost opposite kind of fanboyisms for each of you. I went Sega, you went Nintendo, then I went PlayStation, you went GameCube, and now we're kind of both settled and swung around and pretty much kind of agree on a lot of stuff. So,
yeah.
Oh, but it's all gaming and it's all fun, and we've all done all of it, I think.
Well, I went Nintendo 64 and you went PlayStation. That was.
I have no regret. I mean, I can't believe you missed the PS2.
I have no regret.
Well, you don't know what you're missing. All right, what else did you play?
But when the PS2 was out, though, I had Xbox. That I was in Xbox. No,
yeah, no, it came out before it though. At some point.
No. Nintendo 64 went head to head with PlayStation 1. GameCube went head to head against Xbox and PS2.
Yeah.
And then 360 was PS3, and then PS4 and Xbox One.
I don't know. Some weird overlap there.
Well, I'm sure there's months, of overlap.
Yeah.
But the generations were exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the other thing is my PC gaming world. I stepped it up, Michelle.
Yeah, you did, John. I'm a little worried, John, though, because...
Why are you worried?
Well, you haven't made your video yet, so I don't know what you're going to say here. You stepped up your game because you had a new graphics card. You had a 1080 Ti, and it's really made for 4K or higher gaming, and you had an old monitor, right? That wasn't really up to par.
I have a I have a 2-year-old monitor that I consider to be pretty good. It's a 34-inch ultra-wide LG. I actually like the monitor a lot. But it's only 1080p, right? So obviously I have a 1080 Ti. It's overpowered for 1080p. So I know that you and I have been talking about this monitor for a long time. You have the monitor. You thought I would enjoy the monitor.
Well, I wanted you to up your game from 1080p to 1440p.
I got the goddamn monitor.
And I wanted you to try G-Sync. You got the monitor. You found a sale.
I got the fucking monitor. What?
You got it, John. You did it.
I did it.
It only took you like 2 years. And
now
it's old.
The thing is though, is that I know Asus is coming out with a new monitor like later this year, right? So this is still a good model on paper. It's got G-Sync. It's 1440p. It's 100 hertz. It's curved. It's all that shit, right? It doesn't have the HDR or whatever. And
when you want ultra wide, your options are very limited. So I think that this is still like always on the pick of one of the top 10 best.
Yeah,
gaming
it's basically this one or the Acer Predator, the Predator, the Acer Predator. So whatever. It was on sale on Amazon. It's like the lowest it's ever been. I grabbed it, and so I set it up last night, and the thing's cool looking, without a doubt, right? It's very gamerish, It looks
a lot of people are hit or miss on what it actually looks like. I like it.
It looks like it should come with like some Monster Energy drinks or something.
I don't think so. I think it looks like it belongs on a spaceship. I like it.
It looks like Tony Stark's computer. It looks
but who doesn't want to have Iron Man's computer?
Right. No, it's not AMD. My LG has FreeSync.
That's only if you have an AMD card. If you have an NVIDIA card, you want G-Sync.
Right.
FreeSync is for AMD, and it doesn't work as well. That's why it's cheaper.
So the LG monitor I have now has the LG monitor I have right now is 60 hertz, and it does 75 if you have FreeSync, which I don't. So this one you can overclock to 100 hertz, and I did. Turn on the G-Sync. The first game I played, Michelle,
was a game you hate.
Well, okay, so like I've brought this up numerous times on the show, and for whatever reason, my mind keeps fucking going back to Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's like I see screenshots, I see pictures, I see whatever. I'm like, why am I not playing that? That looks like something I would like, right? Over and over. And so they had the Amazon Prime day.
Yep.
And it was on sale for $30 on PC. And I also looked on Uplay. It was also $30 that same day only. It said 1 day. Like Uplay coincidentally did a 1 day sale.
Why do you want to love this game? I don't get it.
But coincidentally, Uplay did a 1 day sale the same day as Prime sale. So whatever. I bought it from Amazon. And why are you sighing?
I'm just wondering why you want to love Ghost Recon Wildlands. Like you've
because
tried it 3 times and didn't like it, but you still want to love it.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Okay.
Everyone says that it really pushes your computer to the limits on the PC.
It's unoptimized crap, but it does look beautiful.
It looks good, right? So I said, you know what? I got the new monitor. Let's really put it through its paces and let's try it out with this game, right? And it's $30. Because I really wanted something new to play on the new monitor, like just to really try it out. Something shiny and new that is known for graphics. And so all I can say is the new monitor, Michelle, is noticeably an improvement, right?
Yes.
What I like the most about it, like I like stuff typically smaller on my screen. and you can make stuff smaller and everything's sharp as fuck. You know, like
you can fit a lot more on your screen with a higher
You
resolution.
can fit, right, because my monitor right now is 2560 by 1080. This new monitor is 3440 by 1440 in the same footprint, right? And so you can put more stuff in the same space. And I really like that about it. And everything stays razor sharp and all that. Setting up the NVIDIA G-Sync and all that was painless. Everything recognizes itself. The Asus monitor has a much, like, the LG has a little joystick on the bottom. But it's really, like, awkward because of where it is. And on the Asus, that joystick's in just the right spot. Once I learned what all the buttons are back there, because it's like a big mystery, because you can't see them. You know, you're just, it's like...
Bucks is asking, is it curved? It does have a slight curve.
It has a curve.
There are others out there with bigger curves, but people ask, like, do you hate the curve?
No,
like, I love the curve.
Honestly, I thought the curve was gonna be more severe. It's not. The thing is, the curve is nice because you can get more in your peripheral left and right.
Exactly. It's more immersive. That's all it does. You can still do, like, Photoshop or anything else on it, or music editing. You're not going to be...
It's very subtle, this curve.
Yes.
It's not extreme, though. It's not like you're getting inside a phone booth, you know?
Exactly.
So Ghost Recon Wildlands, I was a little concerned, Michelle, that I was going to take a massive frame per second hit with this monitor. I really didn't. And, like, because Ghost Recon, once I figured out the settings, I'm running everything on very high, essentially. I'm getting, like, 80 frames per second on, like, almost every game. Like, I shouldn't say every game, the 2 games I tried.
Your goal, okay, so just quickly, I've talked about it before. As long as you hit 40 frames per second, G-Sync kicks in and it makes it look like your max frame, and it's going to look smooth.
Yeah,
but ideally, if you're playing a multiplayer game and you want, like, you know, the quickest reflexes
60 or more,
quick, you want to hit 100 frames per second because that's your max frame rate. Because you may be playing against other people with 165 hertz monitors. And you want to be able to compete with them. But the thing that people don't understand when they make the swap from 1080p to 1440p is that you do not need anti-aliasing as high as you would when you're playing in 1080p. Anti-aliasing is there to get rid of jaggies. And so at the most, you might want 2 times. Sometimes when you're on a 1080p, you may put it on 8 times or 16 times. So once you lower those settings down, you're going to get more frames because you don't need them. You have more pixels.
I understand.
I'm talking to our listeners, too.
Right now, I'm not complaining about 80 frames on a fucking beautiful, intense game.
I know. I just think you want to ideally hit your max refresh rate when you can.
Right. Okay. Well, I did not yet, and the thing is, all I've done so far is I said very high, and that's all I did. I didn't play with any settings.
And that game is not known for being friendly to. It's just not that optimized that well.
So, but the thing is, listen, 80 frames is nothing to sneeze at, and it's a single player game for the most part, right? So it's fine.
I don't know.
What do you mean? No, it looks fucking fantastic.
Yes. It does look fantastic. I'm just saying, if you were getting a competitive mode, you want to be as fast as you can, right? Because your screen is
I haven't played a game like that yet, so I haven't done that yet.
You'll have no problem in many other games.
I've only played single player. And I was actually pissed off that I didn't have Call of Duty installed because I really wanted to play online with this monitor.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to reinstall Call of Duty. Because that to me is like the ultimate fast pace. Oh my God! Get the fuck out of here! Online first person shooter.
You're gonna hit your max frames there easy.
Oh yeah, Call of Duty is always so optimized. So
yeah.
And then I also played. And by the way, I want to tell you something. I took Ghost Recon Wildlands seriously.
Okay.
I think that when I was playing it on the console before, I was just trying to make it devolve like Grand Theft Auto. Because, listen, at the end of the fucking day, it's goddamn Grand Theft Auto. This is what the game is, right? It is. It's Grand.
I don't know.
It's Grand Theft Auto.
I thought it was Division meets something else.
Well, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's mission based. There's maps. So you drive around. It's Grand Theft fucking Auto.
I like Grand Theft Auto more.
Well, so do I. But I'm telling you, the first time I played it on the console, I didn't take the game too seriously. I kept wanting to screw around, right? Like, it's like, I'm just going to drive over people. And I'm not going to really do stealth. You know, I'm not going to pretend I'm these guys. Because when you're playing it with a controller, you just don't feel like those guys. You just feel like you're a Grand Theft Auto character, right? But if you look at them, you're like, oh, I'm a badass Tom Clancy guy. So I started taking the missions a little seriously tonight when I was playing it. And by the way, I want to tell you something, too. Because when I played it on the console, with the joystick, I really hated it because it's like 30 frames per second, and the aiming was so fucking jerky. And I was playing with my mouse and keyboard down here at the 80 frames, and it was buttery smooth, and it was more like the shooters I'm used to feeling these days.
Yeah.
So it's good. What?
Nothing.
I don't know. So
we've talked about this game so many times, and I've played it.
I don't give a fuck.
And I just can't get into it, and hearing about it, I just can't get that into it. I wish they didn't call it Ghost Recon.
Why?
Because it's not a Ghost Recon game.
I don't know.
It's not. It should have just been called like guys with cool beards in Colombia. Where are they again?
Yeah,
they pissed off the country, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's
like a Just Cause type scenario, right?
Yeah.
But listen, I played it, took it a little more seriously with the mouse and the keyboard at the higher frame rate with the better visuals.
John. You went serious. All right.
I kind of dug it.
Did you feel like did you have like a headset on and like earphones?
No, I didn't. I should have communicated.
This guy's wearing like orange Oakleys.
Yeah.
Did you ever wear those yellow glasses that take down glare on your screen that I've seen some Twitch girls wearing?
No. And the thing is,
do that, John?
I went on Amazon Prime and
oh my God.
On Prime Day, you know, I went to the game section, the gamer section, and those fucking glasses kept coming up.
I know, because like I think they're coming back for some reason.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's because of streaming.
There was a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and they're I always get an ad for them, and I'm like, I don't really want these.
Right. I don't either.
Beards and Guns, Asian Slick Slaya says. That would have been a great name for this game. Tom Clancy's Beards and Guns.
Yes.
I would have played that maybe.
Right.
But Jake says it was good, hands down. So, you know, a lot of people out there are loving it, John. So maybe you'll like it, playing it more seriously.
Right. And then the other game I tried really fast, and I'm going to be playing more shit with this after I get it permanently set up down here.
Okay.
I wanted to play Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know why. I do. And the thing is, like, I did the online thing. Like, I'm getting into this Grand Theft Auto 5 online shit. And
good.
I'm, like, really, really liking it. Because, again, I want to have fun right now. And like, I was, like, down here, like, leaning back in my chair. I had my feet on top of my subwoofer with an Xbox controller. And I'm like, I'm fucking having a great time right now playing Grand Theft Auto. And it looks so good on that new mod. Oh my God, that game looks as good as Ghost Recon, I think, and it's like 5 years old. Like I'm like, this game looks fantastic. It plays fantastic. It works great with the Xbox controller. It's like I'm having the console experience. I'm leaning back down here. But it looks just way fucking better, and it's more immersive. And I was, like, loving every minute of it. And what I like about what I was worried, when I got Grand Theft Auto 5, I was worried that I had committed too much time to the single player on the console.
Yes.
That I wasn't going to want to revisit the game at all, because I already have, like, 20 hours or 30 hours into the single player. But in reality, the online version of the game, which I didn't put a lot of time on the console, is it like another game altogether. Like, you create a new character, and there's like a storyline, and then when you get bored of that, you can go do the online missions.
CC Games says GTA, welcome to 6 years ago. Well, CC Games, that game sells more copies every month than games that come out in the past 6 years. But I don't think we have to defend talking about GTA, John. I, like you, have been very intrigued by the multiplayer craze of GTA.
Yeah.
Like this, the mods have completely changed this too.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Nothing.
Yeah,
so, nothing. But yeah,
John? Beards and Guns?
I really like this game, and I'm playing more of it this summer. It's my summer game.
All right.
Like, I just want to sink time like crazy in the online portion. It's good.
Good.
And
I'd like to see a video of that, as well as a video about your monitor.
I will.
I'm sure you'll be doing that on John Sucks at Video Games.
I absolutely will. And I am drinking a Pellegrino.
Okay. Want to play a voicemail and then take a break?
No, I don't, because you just said you want to play a voicemail and take a break. I don't want that in the recording.
Why? When have we ever cared before?
I don't know. I stopped recording.
Are we professional? Like we can't say, hey, want to play a voicemail?
Right. I just stopped recording, so let's just take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and play a voicemail.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to play
what?
something. Nothing. I'm going to play a song. Hang on. right, guys. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
I guess John didn't play a long enough song, so hi.
All right. Are you ready?
I've been ready, John. I've been here.
All right, let me get the voicemail. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, boop. All right, why don't we play a quick voicemail? Are you ready? 520 Feel VGO.
I'm ready, John.
Hey guys, love the show. Hey, I'm listening to the July 4th episode, specifically the part about the Zelda DLC, and I'm like yelling at my iPhone here. The DLC does work exactly the way you spoke about on the show. You get a quest log entry for every new piece of gear that they released in the DLC. And
hang on. Okay, I was panicking. Hello?
Yeah.
All right, I stopped that for a second there. I'm going to play that again for the recording. I thought for a second I wasn't recording.
Okay.
I thought for a
You
second.
stopped the recording and had to restart.
No. I thought I lost the first half of the show. I didn't. It's in a different location than I thought it was. Okay. All right, here we go. God, that's weird. I had that folder bookmarked. And
you're going to start re-recording now?
Yeah, in a second here.
Okay.
All right, there it is.
This is the fun you guys get who watch on YouTube.
God, it scared the fuck out of me. I thought it didn't record. All right, it's there. All right, here we go. 5432 boop. All right, why don't we play a voicemail? 520 feel a VGO.
hey guys. Hey guys, love the show. Hey, I'm listening to the July 4th episode, specifically the part about the Zelda DLC, and I'm like yelling at my iPhone here. The DLC does work exactly the way you spoke about on the show. You get a quest log entry for every new piece of gear that they released in the DLC. And you're right, you do have to have the Master Sword unlocked in order to play the Trial of the Sword, but did you even watch the trailer? It shows Link taking the sword and placing it back in the pedestal to open up the trial. So, come on, guys.
So this guy is saying, come on, guys, because you should have known how the Zelda DLC...
Don't put me in this boat. First of all...
That's why I said, come on, guys.
John is the Zelda guy. He's the guy who played the DLC. I did not buy the DLC. And I was relying on everything John, the Nintendo guy told me.
Nintendo guy, is that what it is?
Yeah, you're the Nintendo guy.
Yeah.
Fix my browser, by the way, on the stream. You messed it up.
I still don't like how they handled it, because I think that horde mode should have just been like everyone got that. Like why?
Right.
Like why is it? Fuck.
Yeah, I feel like everything they included, other than like some of the trials, like the updated map and then the horde mode, maybe that should have been kind of free DLC. I don't know, but a lot of people who have this DLC were happy with it, John. So your experience may be different than others. But I did read a couple articles that some people thought it was...
But you found some negative stuff, though.
Yes, I did read a couple of articles, more of a minority, where people, and of course, probably the minority stuff gets buried a bit more. People, it's Nintendo, right? So there's a lot of fan base and fanboyism. But we've had listeners who called up who have said, hey, I loved the DLC, and this was a hot button topic. People were yelling at you on Twitter about it and saying, John, you should have known.
No, I should have known. No, the thing is, though,
oh my God.
that horde mode should have just fucking been like the big crown of this that everyone gets to play.
In your defense, though, you shouldn't have to do research on something. The average gamer is not watching YouTube videos or reading things, but, you know, that's all I'll say. They're not going to say, they're just saying, oh, DLC for this game I love, cool. They're maybe not looking into it as deeply as you maybe had to.
Right.
Yes, in your defense.
So basically, I got a map. And here's an article. We can agree that DLC is a scam, right?
Are you going to read some of that?
Sure. You want to?
Go for it.
All right.
Let's piss off these people even more.
Here. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has expansion DLC. Fans claim it's a ripoff.
Oh, really?
Do I need to say anything else?
It's a ripoff, guys. You heard it here first. And John, are you ever playing it again?
I guess if I get the Master Sword, I'm going to.
Are you ever really going to get the Master Sword?
Eventually, yes. It took me 2 years to complete Twilight Princess, and so I've got about a year and 8 months to go.
That's right. B-Moles, who takes our show notes, which, by the way, you can go check out at videogameoutsiders.com under each episode. He says that he has been to GameStop, and most gamers are stupid.
Yes, right.
I agree.
DLC content is a ripoff.
They want you to use the good voice. Can you say that a little more like an internet whiny bitch? There you go.
Like that?
Yes. So speaking of our listeners, I have an email from Frank, and he says, "Hi, can non-USA dwellers subscribe for the bonus content? Regards, Frank." And I believe he's from the UK. And I believe you can. And if you're having issues on the app, you can go to our website and go to vgo.libsyn.com and go premium that way right on your computer. And you can, it's just that'll let you play them that way. But as far as I know, and without being physically tested, you should just be able to get it off the app, or if not, check out our website and get it off that way. Get it off.
All right, let's talk about this. Did we talk about the Splatoon Treehouse last week?
No, we didn't. John, I didn't watch it.
We didn't even cover that even a little bit?
No.
Wow,
you're the Splatoon guy, John.
I am a Splatoon guy. Okay, so
why did you put this in our news? The internet is flipping out over new Splatoon characters.
Because they are.
Come on, John.
They are. And the thing is, like, I watch. Okay, so
the internet is flipping out. What do you write for? Hello Giggles? What is this?
So the Splatoon Treehouse was last. Was it before the last show? When the fuck was it? I think it was. We should have talked about this last week, maybe. I don't really remember. But anyway, they did the Treehouse and they showed like the single player stuff. I kind of half watched it. And honestly, the whole presentation was fucking cheesy, Michelle. It was really, really cheesy.
But I thought the internet was flipping out.
Well, the big news here that people are because in the last game, like the kind of like the mascots or the MCs of the game were Callie and Marie.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone loved those characters, those two girls, right? And and I guess they've been replaced now with Marina and Pearl.
Interesting. Let me guess, they're a lesbian couple from
I don't know.
Seattle? They look a little...
Right, because Callie and Marie
friendly.
Were they Asianish?
I think they were Asian, and I think a lot of people thought that it wasn't celebrating diversity enough, which is interesting because
Are you being serious?
Oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that. I think that was why they did this, because now one character's white and one's black or Hispanic.
But the thing is,
Nintendo's they were Japanese girls, right? And I don't see anything wrong with that.
But the thing is, Callie and Marie, there's actually a reason for this. I guess they're part of the single player campaign. You have to find them. They're somewhere like hidden or whatever. Okay. So, but whatever. They replaced them with these two culturally diverse people, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know.
I kind of when I play Nintendo stuff, I kind of like embracing like the Japanese thing, so it never bothered me if I see like little anime Japanese kind of girls. I don't know.
Right, which was kind of the style before.
Like, yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with the new girls either, but I don't know. I almost feel it was a little intentional.
Yeah, it was.
Well, the internet's flipping out, so clearly it worked. Okay, because we have a girl here named Cupcake who says that she's so cute. Help! OMG, Marina, the new girl. So and DC Watsocken says, "Who knew the choice would be so easy this time? If you like Pearl better than Marina, block me back." So he apparently knows who he likes. Yeah. And if you like the other girl other than the girl he likes, just fucking block him.
That's right. He's drawing a line in the sand, Michelle.
Matt Manning says no fat chicks. It's not inclusive enough.
Yeah.
They're working on that next time.
But I'm going to tell you, okay, I don't know what... Okay, I like Splatoon. I'm not ashamed to say I like Splatoon. I know it's cutesy and over the top or whatever, but the single-player campaign was some pretty solid, platforming type Nintendo goodness. And the multiplayer, I really got addicted to it over the summer. So I am looking forward to this game. It comes out, I think, on the 21st. But after watching
I watched like a piece of that really quickly because you had said it looked like they were it was like a preschool presentation.
Well, that's
like they were talking to kids.
Yeah, well, I know the MC of it was so stupid. Like the whole, it's like I'm like,
can you play a bit of it? Like
yeah, I guess so.
Like pull up the YouTube video and just play it so people can. I don't know. I like the voiceover was so painful.
The voiceover was my god, like. I gotta find.
So you need to Google Splatoon like Treehouse Direct, and I'm sure BMO will put it in our show notes, which you can find.
I gotta find the one that just
because I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Like the one that just happened was like July. God, I can't find it. July 15th.
All right, I'll look while you talk.
I cannot find it.
I'll look while you talk.
Okay.
Maybe they removed it from the internet.
Yeah.
So you're excited for this game. It comes soon, right?
It comes out like in a week. And I think it comes out next Friday.
Okay.
But, I am excited about it. I know it's easy to shit on this game by looking at it because it is cutesy. But it's a good, fun game. At least the first one was. I'm a little concerned they're not going to take a lot of chances, and it's more of the same. I hope the game gets bigger in scale, and they add a lot of new shit. Again, I kind of half-watched the Treehouse. So, I don't know. I'm definitely getting the game. I can't wait to get the game. So, that's all I can tell you. And I'll definitely cover it. But I really got hardcore addicted to that first game.
Yeah, I found the link. You can actually go to their website, Nintendo.com, and check out the Nintendo Direct for Splatoon 2. And I would play a little bit of it here, but then Nintendo will flag our video and try to take ownership of it. But
you think they will?
There you go. Oh, he started off, it was a voiceover, and he said, "Hello here, welcome."
Here, I'm playing it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Here.
Left houses a row of popular gear and weapon shops.
Listen to that.
And some main weapons first. Your standard shooters are great for both splatting opponents and inking turret.
So yeah, they just got this very generic sounding voiceover guy, and it just doesn't fit like what's going on. It's weird.
It should have been I'd rather hear some like Valley Girl sounding kind of chicks cut in than that kind of fit, because I kind of see those girls as kind of, I don't know, the mascots.
Right.
The Squid Kids, not hello here. You know, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But obviously we know who this game is for, John.
Yeah. All right, so...
You and little kids.
Yes, it is. So...
Yes.
I want to talk about this not really stupid, but... So, we talked about Next Machina. Remember that game?
Yeah.
That was the game that Eugene Jarvis made. It's kind of like the new Robotron.
Yes. It's pretty popular.
Yeah, it is. And he owns Raw Thrill. So, Eugene Jarvis created Robotron and... Smash TV and Total Carnage and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he teamed up with some developers to make Next Machina, which is out now like on... Is it just on PCs or PS4 too?
I think it's on PS4 as well.
And anyway, Eugene Jarvis, the creator of Robotron and all that shit, also owns Raw Thrills. And also, I visited Raw Thrills last Thanksgiving, and we did a tour of the factory there. So he's like... His company, Raw Thrills, is like one of the last arcade... video game companies that exist that are making like stand-up video games that take quarters, and so they're gonna make Next Machina an arcade game, and I think it's fucking rad. I really do. And the thing is, like, I know, like,
Machina, Buck says.
Machina.
But you know what? This was a game that you weren't that fond of, but you said you were you had to respect the people who made it, and the arcade machine looks really cool.
I don't know if I really said I didn't like the game. I think that I kind of had that little side rant about everyone making all this retro shit new again.
Yes, but a lot of people like that. Somebody said it was their first show that they listened to, and that they keep listening to it over and over. They're like, why do I love John's Meltdown so much?
But the thing is, though, if anyone can do retro, it's the guy that fucking invented the goddamn genre, and it's Eugene Jarvis. So he has every right to do this.
Why are you mad at him, though? Okay.
Because he invented the goddamn thing, the twin-stick shooter, or he perfected it.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm just wondering if people want to play this in the arcade. Would you play this in the arcade if you saw it?
The arcade machine is definitely attention-grabbing and eye-catching.
Is it intimidating? Do you want to put it?
It's large. It is. It's like the Doomfist of arcade machines. It's very masculine.
It is.
I don't know. I like the look of it. I like the twin sticks. Is that what they call them?
The twin-stick shooter, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like it supports 2 players. I think I like it. Those sticks look fun to grab.
Yeah, those...
I'm not even trying to be weird, but like they look fun.
Well, the
like
stick...
here's the thing. You may have that game at home. You may have bought it on Steam or PlayStation, but you don't have probably those sticks, right?
And well, I have those sticks. No,
okay. Most people probably don't.
The sticks in the render are the... I don't know if they're going to actually use those. That's the same exact joystick that's on Tron and Mad Planets and Satan's Hollow and Gorf. That is an 80s joystick right there. So I don't know if they're going to really use that same mold. I hope they do, actually, because that's a total throwback right there. But Robotron, though, The arcade version of Robotron had 2 ball joysticks where you just put your hands on balls, Michelle.
Yeah. I often do that.
Yes.
Especially while gaming.
So that's a totally different feel to have twin sticks. You know, well, that's like a grip. You know, like a flight stick. You're using 2 flight sticks.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's cool.
Yes.
Maybe.
I think it's cool.
I mean, would you like to see any
What
other?
Maybe. Like, you're an arcade guy. Wait, can I say that? I'm sorry. Is that bad?
Yeah. No,
and,
I'm not.
you know, they're you don't like that they're kind of upping their game a bit with these new
Yes,
machines.
I do.
I mean,
What do you mean I don't like it? I didn't say that.
I don't know. You're like, it's cool, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
Yes, it's no Splatoon 2, but
I didn't say that.
So, you know, Sean on Twitter, who did our art, said that he was so sick of gaming news lately that all they're doing is talking about the Xbox One. I'm sorry, the Xbox One X and the PlayStation and like the new PlayStation that's coming. Is like he can't stand that everybody's obsessed with the future. Because I guess you put this article in here about Xbox One X performance detailed. Native 4K proved difficult for some games. And I know a lot of people are obsessed with this right now. Sorry, Sean, if you're listening.
What do I sell?
We kind of had to talk about this because for a while there,
I sell glorious
kind of while I was
pandemonium.
seeing that, and
The chance to be free.
What?
Hang on. Fuck.
What are you doing?
No, that fucking video started playing on my other browser. All right, just kind of tee this up again.
You're gonna edit it out of the show.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, boop. So, okay, what's going on with this?
Well, something that we already knew and kind of briefly touched upon, but that you're not getting native 4K on most of these Xbox One X games.
What does that mean, not native 4K?
Well, it's sort of like
pseudo 4K?
Yeah, pseudo 4K. So they aren't going to be running. Not every game will run at full native 4K, and even fewer games will do so at 60 FPS. So the tests, I guess this was sort of like just a little preview of some of the games that are coming. Title A, they won't tell you what they are, but Title A, an open world adventure, the target was 900p and 30 FPS. Like what? It can't even do 1080 30?
Like that is shit. I mean,
yeah,
if you look at this fucking list here, and by the way, it's all code word stuff, you know.
Right.
So like open world adventure, and they said that's a record.
Right.
And
so I'm really confused here.
This is not a massive upgrade from the Xbox One.
It looks like what exactly? Yes. It's not. So what's happening here? Is it really what you were saying before were the first party things that are optimized for it, and like, you know what I mean, that they're going to be good, but everything else that isn't is going to be a bit off? I mean, I'm seeing some 1080-60, but why am I seeing less? What's happening here? Where's the 4K?
So it does say, okay, so wait, this is how the 1080p games are going to run on this, right?
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
Which means the 4K versions are going to run worse.
Even worse.
Right.
Right. So they're not going to be, I don't know. I don't get it. Why are we seeing less than 1080p on the Xbox One X?
Hang on, I'm trying to understand this list here. It's incredibly difficult for games to run 4K at 60. As a consequence, we're likely to see graphical demanding games use dynamic resolution or checkerboarding techniques to achieve the higher resolutions.
Well, Jose's really big on the dynamic resolution because it changes depending on what you're doing. So like there might be one scene in the game where there's not a lot going on and that's like 4K, but then the rest of the game, most of the time you're playing the game, it's going to be 1080.
Right.
It's called dynamic resolution, and that kind of lets them get away with saying it's a 4K title.
Right, but the pre-rendered
when the guy's sweeping
or the pre-rendered cutscenes are 4K.
Exactly.
So it says here that test results do not name the specific games outright, though with details provided. Okay, this list, though, it says that this is the target for the game, period, the N, and it upscales this to 4K. Is that what they're saying here?
Yes, I think that's what they're saying. This is, as for the others, we can only speculate, but the benchmarks indicate how well the Xbox One X scales with higher resolutions. So, like you said, it's always lowest common denominator. Like you were talking about, these same games have to run on that original Xbox. So if that's their target, then they're just kind of doing the fake pseudo 4K up-resing them.
And by the way, the only game that runs at 1080p 60 on this is Forza.
Is Forza.
That's it. That's the only fucking game. And and Title F, which they don't say what it is. But they're both sports racing games.
What they're basically saying is, so we should expect games that run at 900p and 720p on the standard hardware to use dynamic resolution or checkerboarding as a 4K solution for the Xbox One. So what we're getting here is a lot of what I'm hearing about from the PlayStation Pro. They use checkerboarding. They say it's not real 4K, it's checkerboarding. So if it does end up being where the PS4 Pro is cheaper, and it does end up being where they do a price drop, and they're both doing checkerboarding for most games, I think what it all comes down to is what our, the voicemail that we got before that we couldn't play because it was too long, is what Justin was saying is, where are your friends? It's just, it's weird though. We're not getting good information though right now. Everybody's all over the place. Microsoft is saying one thing, but other people who are testing it third party are saying something else.
So I'm trying to read this though. It does say that Forza.
Well, we're reading from GameSpot, so if you have an issue with that sub, you can write GameSpot. And I've seen articles like this popping up all over from I don't know, I consider GameSpot somewhat reputable with what they're saying. And Digital Foundry also, which I thought were accused of being Xbox fanboys, were also talking about some of the tests that they were, when they were trying to kind of guess on where things would be running.
So they're saying like Star Wars Battlefront on the Xbox One will be 720p 60, and on the Xbox One X 4K it'll be at 38 frames per second.
Yeah, so
which means
what's
it's 30.
happening?
Right.
What, you're telling me the Xbox One X is going to be 38 frames per second?
That's actually a worse gaming experience than the Xbox
Jake says
One.
We're reading fake news made by Sony.
Yes.
Nothing is 900p on the Xbox One sub, but it actually is, because all it is 900p upscaled, so you're not getting that true native thing. So and plus the frames per second should never be under 60 on the Xbox One X, in my opinion. They should just adjust the resolution. But we had Destiny 2, the devs come out and say, hey, just to tell you, here's how the game's going to run. So we're getting this actual sources from developers themselves who have come out and kind of said, it's weird that they've come out and said that.
Right.
Our game's going to run like this here, just so you know, which is weird, because now we're having console people talking about resolution and frame rates, which is not where console users really want to be. Do they want to be in that space?
No. And the thing is, like when we started this podcast, we were never talking about frame rates. We didn't even know what they fucking were, right? We didn't.
Right.
We weren't saying, oh, Rainbow Six is only running at 24 frames per second.
But Mike says Michelle hating on a console. I'm just reading a GameSpot article, because I'm not hating on it.
Right.
I don't understand. And I'm not hating on it. I'm actually speaking a bit more to the PS4 Pro being cheaper and doing some of the same things. That's what I'm saying. And that's a console as well. And when I reviewed the PS4 Pro, I said I was impressed with, for the price, that it could do pseudo 4K HDR. So I'm not hating on anything. I'm not comparing this to a PC. I'm comparing it to another console that's doing somewhat similar things for cheaper. That's all I'm saying. But what it's going to come down to is, if you're an Xbox gamer, and where are your friends? Are you playing those games? Because it's not really the Xbox exclusives, right, that may do it for you, unless you're Jose and you're playing Halo and Gears of War, right?
It is saying that Xbox One X 4K Forza is going to be at 90 frames per second. Do you believe that?
No, because your TV probably doesn't display that, depending on what you have.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. We should read some of the comments, actually. I don't know what's going to happen with this console.
I know that the dynamic resolution, from what I read, can either be a very good thing, like Jose has been tweeting me about, or it can be a very bad thing from the other side, people saying it's where they're hiding the truth of what the game is actually running at. So like we said, when there is a scene where there is a pre-rendered background and nothing's really going on, wow, that looks great. It's 4K, right? It's something, it looks wonderful. But then when things move a little faster, there's a dynamic resolution where it's constantly changing depending on what it can handle. So that's either really good because they're trying to keep a stable frame rate, and sometimes the games look worse than others, or it's kind of like where 4K just becomes some buzzword. It really means nothing. It's just
it doesn't
4K
mean
title,
shit.
And you look into it and find out it's 4K 25% of the time. Exactly.
So what they're saying here, some guy kind of distills all of this, right? He says all 1080p games end up running in native 4K with better frame rates. 900p games end up running in native 4K with slightly worse frame rates. 720p games run at native 4K at 38 frames per second. So basically, the games that that the Xbox One was able to run at 1080p, right?
Yeah.
That will translate better to 4K. But the games that are running at 900p on Xbox One right now, those games are so fucking over the top that they can't do it.
This is just all the antithesis of what
Right.
I thought console gamers didn't want to deal with.
I know.
And why whenever I talked about
It's
PC
all part of the
stuff,
conversation now.
you know that I would get lectured, and
Right.
I still get lectured. Michelle,
Yeah.
we don't care about this shit. We're console gamers. Please don't talk about FPS. Please don't talk about frame rates. Please don't talk about Ps, right?
Yeah.
Don't talk about the Ps. And now that's all these fucking console people are obsessed with. Not everybody, but whoever's writing these articles and the commenters. People are obsessed over this.
Michelle, did you pay attention to the freaking Xbox One thing at E3? This is what it's all about now. It's about horsepower. It's about frames per second. It's about resolution. This is where we are because they got nothing else. They don't have the fucking games, right? So they have to talk about that. So So okay,
some people like Sean who tweeted me about this and said, "I'm so sick of everybody talking about this."
But
shit
if you're gonna talk about it, you better fucking back it up though, because it's looking like this thing's not gonna be the 4K. Listen, if most games are 4K 30, I think that's a way worse experience than 1080p 60. Personally, I would rather play a 1080. Like I notice it now. Like when I was talking about Ghost Recon. The Wildlands. When I played that on PS4, I couldn't fucking aim because it was so fucking jerky, right? Because of the frame rate. And I come down here on my PC and it's like a totally different game. So like,
I know.
When you have
I just find it ironic that they're obsessed with the Ps, and it has kind of disenfranchised a lot of the console gamers who don't want to think about that and don't care. But I guess like, I don't know, don't look at news for a while because I don't think it's going anywhere. This is the next big thing, right? You think that next gen console that comes out, they're not going to be obsessed with, is this 4K? Is this HDR? Does it have the P? Does it have the FPS? They're going to be, this is the new trend. It's kind of not good.
It's the new trend because they don't have any fucking games.
So you think only Xbox is guilty of this?
I think that they're
PlayStation has no games.
I think that they're the most guilty right now because they're looking at Sony with the PlayStation Pro and they're like, what do we got? Yeah. They're like, well, we need more horsepower.
Well, Eric is talking about something in the chat, which I want to ask you about too. It's kind of on the same subject, but WWE announced that WWE 2K18 is coming to Nintendo Switch on October alongside PS4 and Xbox One. But you have to understand, though, it's going to be like the FIFA thing, Eric, where it was on there too, but it was running on a totally different engine, not the Frostbite engine.
You don't know that, though.
There's no way that game is going to – it's not going to be the same. It's going to be only like the multiplayer version. You really think the Switch is going to run this? Do you really think the Switch could run the same version of FIFA, the Frostbite engine?
We don't.
Didn't you say this? Yeah. The Switch version isn't. It's running like just multiplayer, not single player or something too, right? Or there's no multiplayer. Which one is it?
I think they took out that whole story mode.
They took out, so the Switch version is just the multiplayer mode, and it's not running on Frostbite engine. And you honestly think it's going to be the same WWE mode?
I don't know how intense or deep WWE is.
I've played WWE games before. In fact, there's one that was really fun, and I think it was maybe on Xbox 360. There's no way.
But we don't know. I mean, it's so. Listen, the console's so new in its life. People are gonna get better at porting shit to it. So
there's no way.
There is way. Why is there way?
You think Microsoft is more guilty of this than Sony? Where pushing the whole power thing and because they have no games.
I think. Wait, were you asking me?
I'm saying you're saying that the only reason Microsoft is pushing the whole FPS, hertz 4K shit is because they have no games.
I think it's part of it. I think Microsoft's.
I think they realize that's the trends of where tech is going. Yeah.
But the thing is, they need bullet points, right, to shoot down Sony, and their bullet points are not the game. Sony has a lot more going for them. They have the VR shit.
Our listeners shit right now.
What?
They're talking about Sony exclusives. They're shitting somewhere right now, John. Please stop doing that.
Why?
Because you're making our listeners shit. Remember, every time we mention Sony exclusives, they shit.
But yes, I do. But the thing is, Sony's got a lot more going on with the VR shit and the exclusives, and then they come out with the Pro. I don't feel like the Pro was pushing the numbers as much as Microsoft did. That's all I'm saying, is that Microsoft made these graphic images of the PCB and the fucking chips and stuff, and it's
they did.
What?
There were like porn shots of like the chip.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
way.
and, like,
it was
coming off like a shower.
Totally different angle than Sony.
Of it on like on his forehead.
Right, and look at the PlayStation.
Yeah.
What is the PlayStation?
I get it.
Yeah, the PlayStation 4 Pro marketing is nothing like that. Right? It's just
maybe.
Yeah. It just says.
I get it.
Oh, supercharged PlayStation 4. Look
right.
It's just, there's nothing. They're not going crazy with the numbers and everything.
Well, now journalists are going crazy with the numbers because this is the whole thing that we're going to be seeing for a while. So I'm sorry if that sort of talk pisses you off because you're a console gamer and you don't want to hear it. But welcome to what has been happening and what's going to keep happening. You have entered the wars of. That's why last week we pissed off somebody because you said console gaming was dead.
I know.
And in trouble, and he was very angry about that. And I tried to explain and defend you with what I thought you were talking about, and we can talk about it here, but it maybe was dead as we know it, right? Is what you were saying. It's changed. The game has changed. It has not become about the exclusive games. It's become about, hey, which console is the most powerful? And that's never really something that I think console gamers where their mind really went to, right?
No, but I think ultimately though, what I was saying before though is like Microsoft is killing the console essentially. And with the Xbox One X, because this is not a new platform. Basically the platform is dead. Nintendo is the only one holding onto the platform and proprietary media and all that, you know. So like Xbox, Microsoft, I think they're really killing the idea of what a console is, and it's more about your account. It's more about the store. Your games go everywhere with you. You want to play on PC. You want to play in your living room. You know, some of these games you'll be able to play on your phone from the Windows Store. I think ultimately that's what it is, right?
I think it's interesting though that talking about like
and
Xbox,
you have different experiences.
Xbox has become an app because I can launch Xbox on my computer if I want, and it's kind of weird. Like that's what's really interesting that apps are like apps are like replacing websites at this point, and now they're slowly kind of even replacing consoles. Like will there be a Sony app, right? That there I can, and you can already do that, right? I think, but it's not necessarily as in your face as launching that Xbox app. Yeah. But I think you can play some games there. But it's just interesting that things are moving more to software over hardware, except for Nintendo. They always have that quote unquote gimmick with all of their consoles every year. First, it's it's this, and maybe that's a good thing.
And Microsoft has stayed away from the gimmicks lately. I think the Kinect burned the fuck out of them. And, and they're like, you know what? We're not attaching ourselves to anything.
Yeah. Gingerbread Man says, I agree with John on this, and shit, that's a record. Wow. So I think he kind of he kind of feels what you're saying, that what's been going on in the industry.
Yeah.
And so Subsy says the flame wars are all about power right now. Go read the forums. Sony fanboys are going nuts over 1080p versus 900. That translated to goobers at GameStop telling people that. So I think this is what's happening right now. There's just like two sides fighting at each other, like whose console is stronger. And it's like, I'm sitting back like, what the hell is going on? Like, I thought you guys didn't care about this shit. Why do you care now? I don't get it.
But again, I think that's going to be a short-lived thing too, because when these services like that what was that called? The Sky
LiquidSky.
Like that when that
Waterworld.
when that kind of shit takes hold, right?
Yes.
Then it ultimately it is only about the games and where you buy them, and that's it.
Yes.
And that is where we're going.
Interesting time. Yes. What other news did you want to talk about, John?
I don't have anything else queued up.
I guess this was about Nintendo, but we already talked about Breath of the Wild. All right, well, we're getting close to the end. So do you want to kind of tease a little bit what we're going to talk about in our bonus show just for the people who aren't subscribers?
I do. So
let's not spoil it too much, but Netflix did a 4-part anime Castlevania series.
Yes. They did, and it is season 1, and it's really the setup for something to come later.
But it kind of takes place for the third game, right? I think it's like the lore of the third game, I believe.
It could be.
Castlevania 3, from what I read.
I don't actually know that to be true.
Yeah.
Is that true?
The series is based on the third Castlevania game, Castlevania 3: Dracula's Curse. Yes. So I don't know. I was kind of impressed by it. I have my thoughts, and I don't want to kind of give too much because otherwise we're not going to be able to talk naturally about it later. But I think it's worth checking out if you're a gamer, even if you don't like anime.
I would agree with you, and I would also, if you're like me that kind of grew up with this, and not that you didn't, but like
I did. I played Castlevania 1.
Right. So like, but the thing is, when you were playing those games,
Yeah.
you didn't really realize there was this deep world that there's.
No, I never thought about lore.
That they're spelling out in this show, and
yes,
I was like, wow. This makes me want to play Castlevania.
They are really capitalizing off this retro thing. They have a guy with a Nintendo Entertainment System, the original, popping Castlevania in, having it on an old CRT game, launching Netflix, and going through House of Cards and all this shit, and then playing Castlevania in it. So they are really embracing. I mean, they saw it with Stranger Things, how the 80s was back in. So I really find it interesting that you are against the retro shit coming back sometimes when you feel it's not natural, but you kind of seem to have fond thoughts about this.
Well, the thing is, it's good fiction. You know, it's a good story. It's not like a 8-bit cartoon. This is a legit cartoon. You know, I don't like. Yeah. I don't seek out.
The animation is a bit shaky because it's more like moving pictures.
I kind of like
it reminds
style.
me a bit like Warcraft, like Blizzard does, like comic stuff. But yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much. I don't know. I like it overall. Like, if you guys out there, if you didn't play Castlevania, if you like video games, it's kind of cool to see Netflix telling the lore of a video game. And so we're going to go over not only the series, we're going to talk about Castlevania lore. John, I'm interested. I know there's vampires, actually, two of them, I believe.
I'm excited to talk
about himself.
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about the lore because I've never thought about the lore ever in my life.
I never did either. I just remember it being a cool game.
Right.
With I didn't know who I was playing as or what was going on. I thought I was playing as the blonde vampire.
Simon Belmont.
I can't remember. Like, I don't really remember it. I just remember I was fighting these badass guys. So we're going to talk about the lore and the series. But like I said, check out the series on Netflix if you have Netflix. If you don't, you know where to get it. I'm sure it's going to show up somewhere. Anyway, thank you guys for putting up with our show being late a day and for chatting live with us as well. And remember that during the week, find us on riotcast.com and videogameoutsiders.com, as well as downloading our app on iOS and Android. I think that's it.
I think that's about it. Follow us on Twitter.
At BlackDog7, at Coastal Michelle, at VGO Podcast.
That's
Spoiler alerts, Jake says. There's vampires in Castlevania.
There is. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you very soon. And thanks for subscribing. Video Game Outsiders, out.
Out.
All right, guys, thanks for watching live.